Yeah. So the mother crystals in this game apparently ruin the world and bring about destruction from their very existence, which doesn't sound too far off from other Final.
Clive, was it?
From what I can tell, it looks fine. So, but again, I'm also recording it, so whatever happens that messes up the video, I will definitely just upload a recording. So,
Well, 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 someone's in a hurry.
Just following orders.
Funny, I never took you for the type.
Can't all be as obedient as you, Gav.
Eh?
Fine day for a little mischief, wouldn't you say?
Is this all of us?
Actually, Gav won't be coming.
Just the three of us, then.
Drake said is the keystone of the Empire. Oriflamme's in chaos, yes, but that doesn't mean we can march an army through her gates. The fewer our numbers, the better our chances of going unnoticed. And should that plan fail, well, we have our icons to fall back on.
Sid, I don't know if I can. Ifrit still seems to come and go as he pleases.
Ordinarily, priming an icon comes naturally to a dominance. But then, you are no ordinary dominance.
Well, he's still got the blessing of the Phoenix, doesn't he?
Not to mention what he sucked out of Garuda. And did I ever tell you about how he was once the greatest shield in Rosaria? You know, I reckon he could probably cause a path out of the capital on his own if need be.
Let's try not to find out.
We're less likely to be spotted if we travel separately. I'll meet you in Northreach in a few days. You two behave now.
no, no, I don't want to leave him. I know what's gonna happen. We're gonna come back, and he's gonna be fucking dead, yo. He's gonna be dead. I don't want him to be dead. We're going to Lost Me again. I don't want him to be dead. He's gonna die.
So, we're meeting in Northreach. And will I find Sid and Jill before this dame finds me?
Ah, you're Sid's man, if I'm not mistaken. Couldn't trouble you for some assistance, could I?
That depends. What do you need?
Some new bearers from Oriflamme just arrived, and it cost Master Quinton a pretty penny to convince their owner to part with them. Man must have been a bloody tyrant. Can't get a peep out of them, try as I might.
They're probably terrified of you.
You're probably right. Dare say it'd take a bearer like yourself to open them up. So, will you have a word with them? Help them settle in?
I can try.
That'll do me. Tell them they're safe, and that if they need anything, they just have to ask.
I'll let them know.
Appreciate it. They're sitting over there, taking a long overdue breather, looks like.
This is interesting. Alright, so I just talk to him. I can talk to him.
So you're the
And the
new
fireworks are
arrivals.
going live.
Is there anything I can get you? You're safe here. They don't punish people like us for speaking our minds.
Truly. I'm hungry. My sister too, we're starving.
Wait here. I'll fetch you something from the tavern.
Thank you.
I won't be long. You stay here and rest.
Yo, what? Yo, man, they got it so bad.
But how did the grocer know his... Sun's setting fast. They'll all be back from the...
Can I have another cup, Daddy?
There'll be none left for me.
I'll have 2 plates of whatever you're serving.
Sorry. We've enough mouths of our own to feed without tending to the wants of outsiders.
It's not for me. It's for some new arrivals.
Oh, my apologies. I didn't see the mark. So you're a comrade. Well, in that case, you may have whatever you require. Take all the bread and wine you want.
That's really all it takes. One look at the innkeeper's mark.
Of course it is. I do as Master Quinton commands, as do we all. And Master Quinton commands that none of his favoured guests be left wanting. Well, don't keep our new comrades waiting. Take what you need and see that they eat their fill.
Wow. Must be nice. Being
Bread
what,
and wine.
top slave? The hell?
Hopefully this will be enough.
Well, let's give them their food. These guys are hungry. So we can be on our merry way.
Don't tell me.
I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind doing side quests. These side quests are all pretty short or combat driven, and
Bread and wine from the tavern.
they're fully voiced. I appreciate that.
May we? Truly? Such plenty. Never in all my days.
Brother, this place is like a dream. We sat and no one shouted. We ate and more was offered.
I know. I can't believe it.
You're free now. And the next time you're hungry, you need only ask to be fed.
Thank you for everything. Thank you.
All right. All right.
What
Let
happens
us
to us now?
move on. Where are we going? That's so far away. The holy grounds here. Can I just teleport here? Okay. I know I saw another quest, so, but it'll be alright for now. I see some enemies. Let's get oh, it's that enemy. There we go. Still got it. Just wanted to make sure I still got it. Oh boy. I'm leaving the wildlife alone. Unless there's a specific thing I need from them, then they're not really a challenge. Or I should say the non-aggro enemies. We're in Clairview.
There. Northreach. The soldiers used to speak of a brothel. But now That was north of the checkpoint. I hope the dame has friends in the south.
Well, let's see.
A moment, my lady.
A moment? I doubt you could afford even that much of my time.
Damn, bitch.
My mistake.
No, mine. Upon reflection, you don't have the scent of a branded about you. The flowers. Otto always did know how to please me. More than Sid ever did anyway. Do you think you could please me, Clive?
You're the dame.
Let us leave such impersonal titles to my less preferred clientele. You can call me Isabel. Otto assured me I could trust you. I can trust you, can't I?
You can trust me, yes, but... why would you...
Help you? Because that's what we do. Long ago, Sid did me a kindness when no one else would. I have never forgotten that. Without it, I would not be where I am today. And so, I make it a point to do the same whenever possible.
Yo, Sid is the homie, dog. He helps
Which brings
everybody.
us here. To the final obstacle between you and whatever it is you seek in the holy capital. I fear the guards are not likely to let a masterless bearer pass unmolested. Unless...
Unless...
Unless, of course, his master deigned to appear. Yes, that will do nicely. But I shall expect a favor in return.
Yo, do you want,
Wait,
woman?
What?
Is Shiva gonna have to put a bitch on ice?
You say these are all from Dalmatia?
Are you gonna buy something or not?
Do you see anything you like?
I'm sure I can buy this stuff now.
And a fine, fine day to you.
Alright. I don't think I need anything. Let's just go.
What the hell are you doing?
Tut tut. We cannot have people thinking I tolerate disobedience from my branded.
The men who gave me this are no more my masters than you are. But... it's not as if I can hide it.
From the moment you acquired it, that brand has done naught but take.
Hey,
But
happy
today,
4th, Cars.
it is going to give you exactly what you want. Just play along.
Madame, back to the Vale already?
But of course, we must make ready to welcome you, my dear.
And who might this be?
Why, my new escort. The streets aren't safe for a girl, what with all the royalists about.
Well, don't work him too hard.
Well, that rather depends on you now, doesn't it? I'll see you all at sunset.
Oi, hold up. Another fucking branded. Well, you're lucky you're with the dame. Now get out of my sight, filth.
Boy, my drip go hard. Drip harder than yours. Talk about some filth.
That wasn't so bad.
Wasn't so bad. They might have recognized me.
But they didn't. And even if they had, they wouldn't have done anything about it. The gentlemen of the garrison are some of my best customers. We have an arrangement, as do you and I. Now, if you'd care to follow me, we can speak more at the Vale.
Damn.
Doesn't seem like I have much of a choice.
You know, that coochie's evil, dog. That's coochie right there.
Well then, I suppose you have something to remember me by.
And if anyone requests her company, tell them she is feeling unwell.
Madame, you look stunning.
As do you, my dear.
Shall I have one of the girls draw a bath?
That won't be necessary. Clive, my darling, welcome to the Vale.
Okay.
Thank you for seeing me through the gates, my lady. I am in your debt.
Well, that was the whole point, wasn't it? And I told you, it's Isabel. Whatever wound you so tight, I wonder. It's certainly not Sid's influence.
You, mentioned a favor. What is it you'd have me do? I don't want to keep my companions waiting.
If you mean Sid and the girl, you needn't worry. They have yet to reach the checkpoint. Yes, Otto asked me to help them as well. But to answer your question, I need you to find someone for me. One of my girls. Tatienne has been gone for several days now, having left no word of explanation. And I've begun to fear the worst.
I feel as if I've spent my whole life searching for people. Though I can't say I'm any good at it.
I trust you'll do your best. Oh, and take this.
Alright. It goes without saying.
Trust. And hopefully enough to keep prying eyes from looking too closely at that handsome face of yours. Now, I have matters to attend to at the Iron Flagon. If you find anything, ask for me there.
Let's just go about it.
Probably start here.
There's a whole bunch of quests here. Right?
You wear the dame's brooch. She must trust you.
Enough to have me look for one of your colleagues. A woman by the name of Tatienne.
She's still missing then. Oh, if only I'd comforted her.
You saw her before she disappeared.
The day before, she was in tears. She'd lost her comb, a gift from the dame. It wasn't anything fancy, but you could tell it meant the world to her. You see, Tatienne was an orphan, and she looked upon the dame as a mother, as do we all.
So she was upset.
And I didn't lend her my shoulder. But perhaps someone else did. Tatienne shared a room. Her chambermaid may have seen something. She's over there, sitting by the pond.
Thank you. Let's see what her chambermaid can tell us then.
Alright.
So you're the new escort the girls
So
have
this
been talking
dame-
about. And you've already been sent off on an errand, eh? Poor boy. You'll be knackered before the real work begins later on tonight.
I'm told you share a bedchamber with Tatienne. Did she say anything to you before?
Before she went missing. Only that she needed to meet with someone. She did mention a name, but I know exactly who she meant.
You do?
lad from the garrison. Annoying little shit. Spent every gil he earned on Tatienne, and picked fights with anyone else who tried to buy her time. Followed her around like a lost puppy. Tatienne was flattered at first, but it didn't take long for her to get scared. She thought about saying something. But the Dame was so proud of her for how much she was bringing in, and she didn't want to let her down.
This man from the garrison. Did you ever see him?
Of course I did. He tried to sneak into our room enough times. Slimy sod's got a scar over one eye. Claims he got it in battle.
You've been very helpful.
Don't let him get away with this. Find him, and you'll find her.
Alright.
A man from the garrison. Seems a trip to the barracks is in order.
I haven't seen you around the Vale of late.
I'm tired of you. Shit, I don't even know who you are.
Heard the bones fell favourably. To the Vale, then?
I'm looking for a man with a scar over his eye.
Looking for a man? Does this look like a brothel, Branded? Fuck off.
Hold your tongue. He wears the Dame's brooch. One word from him and the Vale's doors will be barred to us for good.
There's only one man in the garrison with a dodgy eye. His name's Yannick. I haven't seen him around lately, though.
Yannick?
On account of him being in Moor. Yeah, Yannick left a few days back. Said he had dealings with a merchant there.
The Dame thanks you. Moor is the last village on the road to Oriflamme. I should let Isabel know where I'm headed.
Just running around. This is main story quest, though.
Clive, tell me you bear good tidings.
That remains to be seen.
Oh, Tatienne, you could have told me.
This Yannick. The soldiers I spoke to believe he's in the village of Moor. According to them, he claimed to have some business with a merchant there. Though that wouldn't explain his continued absence.
And you plan on traveling to Moor to ascertain the truth?
Isn't that what you want?
Oh, it is, but I fear sending you there may cause more harm than good. The people of Moor are rather set in their ways. You'll find they have little love for bearers, and they will not hesitate to report one such as you to the constabulary. There is a man in Moor who owes me a favor. More than one, in fact. His name is Bertrand, and he works at the stables. Tell him I sent you.
I shall return as soon as I find something.
Alright. We're off. Which way? No, not that way. Okay. So this is the way.
Did one of them get on this side?
Damn, one of them. Yo, I want to stop putting some respect on my drip. I'm the drippiest slave you've ever met.
How many bearers suffer to keep your granaries full?
Look at this open field. I'm about to say, you don't want the smoke.
That's enough for today, Branded.
Not them working in the fields.
Go on.
That's enough dallying. Up, the lot of you. There's still work to be done.
There's a lot of quests I'm excited about it. I will definitely probably do more off screen.
If the people of Moor are as intolerant as Isabel says, it's no wonder the Empire never sent my unit here.
Weren't expecting any new branded until the new moon. You don't think he's a deserter, do you?
You don't see my badge? Where? Oh, here he is. Ran right past him.
Are you Bertrand? The dame sent me.
Sounds about right. Only time I hear from her is when she wants something. Well, go on then. What is it?
One of her courtesans has gone missing, and I need to find her. A soldier who may have information on her whereabouts is rumored to have come here to meet with a trader.
Many traders stop to peddle their wares on their way to the capital, but only one's been seen quarreling with a soldier.
Is he still here?
The trader? Oh, yeah. Stubborn sod stood his ground till the soldier got tired of shouting, from what I hear. If you seek him out, keep your head down. Fact is, folks round here would sooner hang a branded than help him. And that's even with the dame's brooch for protection.
Understood.
Damn. That's someone hanging them? Let's get the hell out of this country-ass town.
What's this? A branded? Where's your master? Must I call for a constable?
I come to you from Northreach, at the behest of the dame. Perhaps you've heard of her.
Why, of course I have. I am the good lady's servant. What is it that she requires of me?
Rumor has it you were seen arguing with a soldier some few days ago. A soldier with a scar over his eye.
Yes, that's right. He had a comb which he claimed was an antique. Said he wanted to trade it for a newer one. But old though it was, an antique it most certainly was not, as I told him. Nevertheless, he insisted that it was of great value and was quite vehement about my appraisal. I stood firm, however, and for all his bluster, he still purchased a new comb, albeit an inexpensive one.
And do you know where he went after that?
My customers aren't usually in the habit of telling me whither they are bound, but as it happens, this one did. Yonder ruins, strange as it may sound.
My thanks.
Not at all. I would do anything for the dame. Anything.
Yeah, I bet. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling
Be
y'all.
sure and tell her, won't you, that I was helpful. I mean, most helpful.
That coochie evil. That's all I want to say. She got these niggas. Phew. She got them all. Did you say the dame? Oh, I mean, branded as you may be.
It smells of death here, Torgal. Wolves. We can't let them get any closer to the village.
It's over.
Yeah, don't mess with me. I got this stuff on lockdown.
That's it.
There we go. There's a whole bunch of dead ass people over here. Why is that when I research for people that are dead?
Damn it all. Bodies. A man and a woman. Well, the wolves have been busy. But the blood is long dry. So it is you, Tatienne.
If that's true, then the body next to hers will be Yannick's. The girl Yannick went off to sea every night. You said her name was Tatienne.
You. Did you follow me?
Now, why would I do that? Unless you think I'd have good reason to. But no. I was sent to find Yannick. By the looks of things, I have.
We both found who we were searching for.
Nah, he was a jealous sod. Couldn't stand the thought of his woman with someone else. Then one day he sees her with a new comb. Thinks she's got herself a new gallant. Tells the garrison he's going to find the man and kill him. We know it's all talk, but then he disappears off to Moor for some dealings and doesn't come back.
If you mean this comb, it was a gift from the dame.
If only Yannick had bothered to ask, eh? He might not be rotting on a hill.
I think he meant to ask her something else. He stole the old comb and bought her a new one in the hope they'd wed.
Wed? Where would they have gone? Certainly not back to Northreach with a dame waiting. And we all know what happens to deserters. Tell the dame I'm sorry for her loss. When the lads come to collect Yannick's body, I'll see that Tatienne is delivered to the Vale.
Is that wise?
Oh, there won't be any covering up this mess. The most we can hope for is that the dame doesn't hold it against us. Speaking of which, I saw her in Moor just now. Could you tell her what happened? Might sound better coming from you.
I need to tell Isabel. Perhaps the comb will give her something to remember Tatienne by.
What a pain in the ass. Every time I go to find people, they're dead. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a good 4th of July. It is the 4th of July as of me recording this. Or streaming this.
Weren't expecting any new branded until the new moon. You don't think he's a deserter?
Oh, they're talking that same bush.
If it was a message...
You are still in one piece, I see. You will be pleased to hear that your companions have arrived. They said they would meet you at a little chapel to the east of here.
Thank you, but you needn't have come all this way just to tell me. I was on my way to see you.
You found her then? I see. My dear Tatienne. It is by no means uncommon for a client to fall for a courtesan. Especially a client who's young and far from home. But rarely do such tales have happy endings.
I found this with Tatienne. I believe it was yours.
Thank you for returning it. I shall see that it has a place on her pyre.
I mean, I got some experience for it. I leveled up because of it. Well, I leveled up.
I should go.
Before you do, I have one last gift. A token of my thanks. The Vale counts among its patrons several high-ranking officers of the Imperial Army. According to one of the looser-tongued gentlemen, it would appear that the legions are planning to march south.
Or to mention the same thing.
But did he mention that it was all of the legions? This is no mere skirmish. Were I to guess, I'd say the Emperor planned to abandon the capital. But that couldn't possibly be true now, could it? Take care, Clive.
I mean, after what we saw last time, when he was just like talking about...
Thank you again.
Manifesting their destiny, you know, the good Empire way. Go off this hill. What's going on up here? What, you got something to say?
The dame said you would be coming. Your friends are waiting at the chapel atop the hill. Go now.
Yo, thank you. I think I gotta remember to make sure that that I turn the items off for Torgal on, because I always press down from the combo with me, and I'm using the item on X instead. It couldn't have been that heavy. You might hear some fireworks in the background. Nothing I can do about that.
Any trouble on the way?
None worth mentioning.
As I was telling Jill, it's worse than I thought. The capital's crawling with soldiers.
And here I am, the deserter come home.
Which is why we'll be taking the back door.
Are we gonna kill our mom? I hope we kill our mom.
Cheer up, you two. Can't think of a safer place in the Empire than a... brothel.
Really? Doesn't seem very private.
So then, how do we proceed?
We'll be using the glass gate. Tonight, just after sunset.
Where the shards are loaded for transport. That is one of the most heavily guarded points in all of Sambrec.
But not the most, which is a start. Besides, I know a shortcut straight to the heart.
A shortcut? And how exactly did you come to know about this fatal chink in the Empire's armor?
Let's just say I may have attempted something similar before. And may have ended up running for dear life after being discovered by Bahamut, but that's not important.
Sid, if the Mother Crystals truly are the cause of the Blight...
If? You wound me, Jill.
What I'm trying to say is, if the powers that be know all of this, why do they sit idle and allow it to continue?
In case you haven't noticed, the God-fearing people of this realm and their pious leaders care for but one thing, themselves. And they'll do whatever it takes to hold on to power. The rest of us are just a means to an end. The moment you raise your voice against them, you're decried as an outlaw, clapped in irons and slung in a cell to rot.
An outlaw.
Whoever controls the crystals controls the realm. But our kind can wield magic without them. To our rulers, we must seem the most convenient of tools, and the most dangerous.
But what makes them think they have the right to use us? To leave us to die when our bodies are spent?
Does a nobleman weep for a broken mug? A torn tunic? Our fate means nothing to them. No, this isn't a battle you can win with words. Believe me, I've tried, but nothing ever gets through. The world is simply not ready to listen. So to hell with talking. If they won't give us a say, we'll decide our fates another way. You can't blame a man for wanting to bring an end to all this, can you?
I can't. But what of all the people you mean to rob of their comforts? Are you happy for them to call you outlaw?
Sid the Outlaw. Aye, that'll do me.
You might at least pretend to take this seriously.
Have a little faith, Jill. Even if you don't think much of my choice of digs. If it means my deeds will be remembered, I'll gladly play the role of villain. But first, we have a gate to crash. And once we're in, there'll be no turning back. So you best make ready. The world won't save itself.
Whew, we're seriously doing this. Wait. If you continue, you will not be able to return. What? Really? Shit, let's do it. Apparently, we about to do something significant here.
There are not nearly enough men here.
Then it's fortunate the city guard doesn't take sentry assignment as seriously as you do. This bodes well.
Won't be a first. This may not be such a terrible plan after all.
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
Only that your last secret shortcut was nowhere near as secret as you claimed.
Yeah, but that's half the fun of it. Life's too short for perfect plans. You want a plan that'll keep you on your toes, stop you growing old and complacent.
Worked for you, has it?
Clive, my boy, even life's smallest challenges offer the opportunity to grow and to change. You must embrace these moments. Allow them to suffuse your heart with a deep sense of fulfillment.
Narrowly escaping death at the hands of an enemy is not my idea of fulfillment.
Something wrong?
Not at all. Just wondering if the two of you had finished.
Right. We make for the Mother Crystal's heart as planned. Destroy it and the whole thing should come tumbling down.
And if the passage to the inner sanctum is guarded?
Then we embrace the moment and use it to grow and change.
Yo, Sid is funny, yo.
Come on, this way.
I'm here for it.
Try to stay out of sight.
Try to stay out of sight.
Obviously.
Don't worry, the passage is empty.
Okay, so he's going out on his own. I'm not doing that. Damn rats. Hold on, Sid. There's a chest out here. We don't leave chests. They said we don't have to come back. It had bread in it. Torgal, how are we getting you back up the damn ladder? Sid, where the hell are you? There he is.
All right, not quite empty. Let's get this over with.
They're not from the garrison.
I swear this passage used to be secret.
Of course it did.
Perfect plans, Clive. Perfect plans.
Don't let them get away.
Woo, look at that. We doing combos. I love it. May not even have to use this gauge I got. And until I have to use it. I guess we're going this way. Yes, it is.
We never stood a chance.
You're welcome.
Sid's humor is great too. Yo, this has to be the
The
coolest
main
Sid.
tunnel.
That would be my guess. There are sentries everywhere.
Sorry, 14 Sid. You're cool too. We really couldn't have beat the game without you. Okay. It didn't do it at first. Oh, lady, is this a Sid path? Am I too big to go here?
And all good things must come to an end. We might have a bit more company from now on.
This isn't so bad.
Captain! To arms, men! Kennedy! At once!
Get assassinated soon.
Give them all you've got,
Oh shit. What the
I think this may be the moment I was talking about earlier.
What have we here? More insects come to be squashed? You will find my mortar and I only too happy to oblige.
Sir.
You're a talker.
Then let's shut him up.
That is
Too slow. Not this time.
Do you feel that? Something in the air.
Ether. It's ether.
Then we better make this quick.
Torgal!
Too slow. That's better. Not this time.
Angry. I'm about to say, no way,
Why don't you die?
I mean, damn it. 14. 14.
Bollocks. He's got a Kashik.
Gone what?
Poor wretch.
Save your pity. We'll get none in return. There's nothing left of him but hatred and rage.
Let's end his torment.
We got fucking first one up. Oh, okay. Okay. Do the same thing for second.
Better already. Not this time. Better keep on my feet.
Come on, man.
Not this time.
Yo, this game never ceases to surprise me. Oh, he did it again. He did it again. gonna work. Cannoneer. Slade. Yo, that guy, he wasn't tough, but oh, I guess I couldn't do it without healing items. How about that? So I gotta deal with that. Ooh. Increase ignition damage by 12. Cool. Oh, he turned this.
I'll never get used to that. Akashic or no, he was still a man. A man who drowned in ether.
It's no way for anyone to go.
Come on.
Drowned in ether.
God, duty's a death sentence in this place. Not that Sylvester cares.
I think my mother cares.
Ah, breathe deep of the blessing, my friends. Who said being a dominant doesn't have its benefits?
Sid, this is an ether flood.
There shouldn't be one here, should there? The workers couldn't survive this.
Well, it wasn't here last time, I can tell you that. Which means we need to be quick. The ether won't hurt us, but I'd rather not find out what it's done to everyone else.
An ether flow. Reminds me of the cave in Final Fantasy XII. Meteorite, more meteorite. What's this over here? I bet it's meteorite. Oh, I was wrong. It was steel silk. What are these creatures?
Oh, the miners. The gods.
The ether made monsters of them. All we can do now is put them out of their misery.
Isabel said she thought the Empire might be planning to abandon the capital. Could this be why?
She said you could call her Isabel. Never mind. If ever there was a reason to up sticks, an ether flood would be it. What made those guards at the gate? They weren't there to keep people out.
They were there to keep the Akashic in.
Everything's so dark. Oh, over there. Yeah, everything is super dark. We'll get through it. Sorry, this is as light as it gets. So this area is just meant to be dark.
Doesn't look that far. Right.
Yo, Sid, stop playing.
Why, yo? Whoa. Some help.
Hold on.
I'm about to say, come on, Sid. You old bastard, you can't die in a place like this.
Not quite as spry as I used to be.
I'll take that as a thank you.
Look on the bright side, eh? At least you won't get lost.
Why he play with us like that? He knows we care about him. The bastard. We already liked you because you were Sid. Then it's like, okay, so what Sid are you? What's going on? Some opponents will have the ability War Cry to invigorate themselves, enhancing their performance in battle. Look at the icon to defeat them before they can deal with too much damage. Hit the
Don't let them get away. Give them all you've got, boy.
I'm gonna say I'm almost an expert at this combat. I played with the wrong one. What the hell is that? Assume immediately up? Probably not. But while we're here, we might as well loot the place. Oh, this game is pretty, even when it's dark. Still silk. Must go in here. Are we gonna fight another cannoneer? Looks like it. Yeah, this definitely giving me 12 vibes. I forget the name of the dungeon it was, but it was when we were getting chased by the bangers. Bangers. Sounds like a whole thug or a group of what the hell? Now where did you blokes come from? Is that it? Whew. There's a lot of things going on. I mean, it makes sense to see all this mining as the capital was built on top of the mother crystal.
No mistakes.
Oh, hell. I did a little. for you to take care of everybody else. Deal with.
Not this time.
Had to deal with that. Actually, to be fair, have been practicing after the last stream in the little trading room to deal with that particular enemy. So that's why I dealt with it so much better than last time. But that was the same day. I was like, I'm gonna learn these reactions. Alright. Straightforward. These mines are kind of big. But then again, the mother crystal here is bigger than the actual castle at the capital.
I see they replaced that wooden door with something a little more sturdy.
God damn it, Sid. Coral sword. Wait a minute. Stronger weapon? Stronger weapon indeed. Ever so slightly. I feel like that might be a trap though. Though this game doesn't seem to have elements attached to it. I feel like it should have, let me see, an element attached to it. The coral sword. Okay, well. 5 points is 5 points.
On the count of 3.
What happened to 2?
Ask 1.
Once more.
Aye, seeing as you're trying now.
Hit him with that sweet chin music.
Keep us out.
Alright. Yeah, thank you. I could barely see it. That is a neat trick though. So because we're blessed with the
mother crystal's
icons,
just up ahead.
Is it? I can't see a thing.
Well, unless someone's moved it.
Oh shit. That looks amazing.
There's no one about.
I knew it would be big. But this...
There. That's our way into the inner sanctum. You'd think they'd have patched that up by now. Sorry state the Empire's in.
Wait. You don't mean...
Aye. My little game of hide-and-seek with Bahamut ended here. At tragic cost to this remarkable architecture. Don't blame me, he started it.
But how did he make it out alive?
I walked. You should try it.
The path of the goddess. He said, yeah, I made it away from Bahamut. This is boss room.
Oh no.
Them again.
Is there something you two want to tell me?
Maybe later.
Yeah, she's now.
It's over.
Get up.
How could those creatures from Phoenix Gate be here in the mines?
Are the two places connected somehow?
Oops. Oops, not feeling that. There's another battle area. Nope. Okay. And it's different because these guys just materialized here. At least the ones at the Phoenix Gate were just there. Waiting. Menacing. You know the drill. Kill the orbs first. Shiva thirsty. Why you say that? The Psyche in his back. Alright, so I'm going to be dealing with him. Hopefully y'all can do better. No, sir. Counter slash. Yeah, the Scythe enemies look cool, but they're pretty easy to deal with. I say that instead it's like some super version of it. that like kills you in one
When
hit?
I was in the Imperial Army, soldiers assigned to the Glass Gate would tell stories about something they called the Guardian.
Can't say I saw anything like that when I was last here. Then again, I can't say I made it this far.
Let's just be careful then.
The Guardian. Let's not. Oh boy. If this don't look like an arena, I don't know what does.
Where did that come from?
If I had to guess...
Poor beast. Another victim of the flood.
Flood? The Blight. I wonder if this world is related to Final Fantasy.
If it's a fight he wants.
14.
Ready, Clive?
Always. Too slow.
I get it. Why do they fight with big enemies like take your ass down?
Give me fire! A little help. There's a good boy.
He's gonna have to
Where's he off to now? Clive, look out!
I've done enough AoE shit and 14 to know what to do with that. Oh no, the Dragoon is showing.
Not this time.
I most definitely was back.
Not this time. Not this time.
Fuck with me, dragon? You thought you could fuck with me?
Not here.
Oop. I forgot the heal. I was so I was so into it, I forgot the heal. Well, there goes my boss winning streak of 1 without dying.
Too slow.
I thought I was dodging everything because it was sweet.
Too slow.
I've been doing surprisingly good against that one move. Just that one move.
Not this time. That'll help. Too slow.
Ah, shit. I could do that better. Maybe I'll do it better in arcade mode. I got a black blood. Okay. Cinder with you.
Are you all right?
Fine.
The inner sanctum lies just beyond. Chances are the palace guard knows we're here. We should move. Not that any sane commander would send his men into a place awash with this much ether. Clive. If this all works, and the blessing fades, things are likely to get worse for our kind before they get better. Being the last to wield ether will make our talents that much more sought after, by which I mean hunted. I just hope, in the end, they'll see that we didn't have any other choice, that it was the only way to get us to a better place.
And here I was thinking I was the uncertain one. Luckily, 2 out of 3 of us have faith in you.
Then it all starts here. Time to earn that menacing title. Sid the Vicious, was it?
Man, what the hell are you gonna do to the mother crystal? I guess we'll find out, huh? In the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. No, I'm joking. Or not.
We're almost there. Anyone having second thoughts?
Not me.
We're with you to the end, Sid.
Then what are we waiting for?
The end? That was 3. 3 hours in that bad boy. Anything over here? What you buttering me up for? Nah, I feel like I'm getting buttered up. I definitely feel like I'm getting buttered up.
It's beautiful.
Said you can't be walking in front like you the leader. That's how you die.
Heart of Sunbreak.
Well, that didn't work. I think we're gonna need a bigger sword.
Mine's bigger.
Thank you, Clive, but I meant that figuratively. The core's clearly made of sterner stuff. Taya's going to have a fit when she hears about this. Stand back. It's about to get cramped in here. That's more like it.
Clive, look.
What is that? Sid!
What the fuck did I just happen? A fight?
I need Ifrit.
Ifrit! I need Ifrit!
Come to me. I can't do this without you.
What was that shit? You said you are Ifrit, remember?
Not again. Where are you?
Hold on.
What? Oh shit. This is some Kingdom Hearts bullshit now. We in it. Are we inside Clive's heart?
Where the hell am I?
If they say your heart, I'ma lose it. What? What the hell?
I've been here before.
Now?
You again. Where are you? What do you want? Fuck. It's still alive.
He wanted to fuck me up.
Get out of my head! I don't answer to you. I'm leaving, one way or another. Not this time. That's enough.
I know how to dodge AoE circles.
By the flames. Can't take much more of this.
What else can he do?
Should have did that from the beginning. You
Isn't
bastard.
yours. But this is mine.
That's right. God, time for the Hydra back.
I remember now. I am fire.
Well, let's give him the hands. Let's see what he got. Well, we got melee, range attacks, so evade and jump. Absolutely. I'm right here. Stay. You know what? This does remind me of definitely G actually, without all the floaties. I don't know who you are and why you look like Zappa and Aaron together. But you gotta go.
It's done.
Purgatory?
How many more could there be?
What the hell's going on?
Oh, fuck.
What? Oh, man. What happened? Oh, full form. Ooh, oh shit. This is looking cool. I don't know if that's possible, sir. Whatever you are.
As you wish.
Hold on. Okay. He kind of reminds me of the way he moves. It reminds me of, kind of reminds me of Ashura. say the name. Oh, I know everything there is. Damn. What the hell is the Dragon Ball Z? Not when the smoke clears. You know we about to pop out of there. We gangster. We are Emily. There's no way. But we didn't pop up out of it. Apparently, we got the L. Oh, I said that back. He came out that jet doing the Michael Jackson pose. What's going on? The Goku special. The Goku special for real? Yeah, the Goku special. Boy, was Hemi D. Luffy for a second. Or Himku. And we level it up off of that. And we got some, let's see. We do, yes, absolutely, yes. Reduce that cooldown. Why he get small like that? Was that all just in his mind? We were just in his heart, weren't we?
Well, enjoy your nap.
You're wounded.
This? It's only a scratch. All right, the hole.
We'll find you a healer.
Here. No, you won't.
Sit down!
I know who you are. And if you think I'm gonna let you have him... think again.
Who the hell? And then the person, what? Fuck.
Sid.
Why is Lord Sidious trying to groom children still?
One left. That'll do me.
Or adults in this case. Leave this man alone.
Try not to talk.
Clive. For so long, I thought I had all the answers. But then I met you. And I learned it wasn't a good death we should be fighting for, but a better life. It's all very well, a man reclaiming his fate. But if he can't choose how he meets it, what's the point? So, I made a choice. The rest is in your hands. The crystal's blessing is a prison, Clive. And if it's an outlaw the world needs to help it break free. Stop. Please. I can think of none better than you.
Damn, can we mourn?
In ashen grip, let ember glow, to kindle flames anew. I'm sorry, Clive. Had I arrived but a moment sooner. Do you remember me, boy? I saw you protect them. That was very brave. I know you're there, Ultima.
Ultima's a person?
Oh. You have learned our name. What else have you learned, Phoenix?
My travels have revealed much about you and your ambitions. I know that it was you who tore me from my brother. And I know that it is his power that you seek. But know this. If you want him, you'll have to go through me.
Very well.
Breath of mine ancestors, fill these lungs that I may dispel the songs of suffering.
A disturbance.
We'll leave. My brother alone. This is getting us nowhere.
We agree. No more games, Phoenix. We have come to claim our vessel.
and I said no.
These flames are nothing. You will know what it is to burn.
Yours is a fleeting form. I'm not fool enough to think I can harm you. But to protect my brother, I don't have to.
Right.
These are not flames of destruction.
Have you forgotten already who I am?
What the hell?
Just try and get to my brother now. Fiend.
Oh, we don't get to see Mother? No Mother Dearest? New Kingdom Hearts looking okay. You telling me, my guy. You telling me.
You hurt me! He must be here. Must! Can fail Lord Cook again! Find Sid! Or we're all fucking dead! Sid, help us! Where is he? You'll do! Bastard!
Gab, we've got to go!
Not without this!
Sid is not among the dead. Shall I send a Stolas?
Well,
that won't be necessary.
I don't want to tell him, dog. We just lost one of the realest Sids ever to exist. One of them. He's pretty close to 14 Sid.
The finest silks from the master
See,
weavers of
14 sick can do all
Brandela.
this
Come,
and live through it, so long as the writers commit to it.
Chocolate sausage, all from greens-fed farm birds. None of the old courses you'll find elsewhere. Here, take a bite.
I've got peppers and peas, beans and beets. If it goes in a pot, I've got the lot.
Curatives, restoratives,
Look all you like, sir. It's all fresh. Picked this very morning.
Restoratives, unguents, ointments, poultices, palmatives, curatives, restoratives, unguents, ointments, poultices. Might I interest you in a potion, milady? Perhaps a soothing salve to ease the aches of the road? I'm sorry. I wish you well, but may the mothers guide you. Calmatives, curatives, restoratives, unguents, ointments, poultices, calmatives.
I can't tell if this is like a cutscene or just in-game graphics. How much time has traveled? 5 years later? 5 years?
It's good to see you, Sid.
What have we learned?
And I've taken up the name Sid?
The bearers are locked up in an old courthouse on the edge of town. And I hardly need tell you who is there to make sure they stay that way.
Kupka's private guard.
It's a trap. And not a very good one at that.
Another? What does he hope to gain from this?
I'll have the captives free before nightfall.
You do nothing of the sort. Our comrades didn't give their lives for you to get your throat slit in a god's forsaken slum.
So those in the courthouse should be left to suffer.
That's not what I said. I simply meant it doesn't have to be you who frees them. Damn it all. You're as stubborn as the old Sid was. Just don't say I didn't warn you. You're Sid now, and if anything happens to him, we're finished.
So I'm gonna have to make another save altogether, because I don't think those events that I did, I don't think I'll be able to go back and do those side quests. I ain't think it was that changing. I mean, 5 years in the future, if those side quests still exist, what the hell have they been doing?
Please, we don't know anything. You have to believe us. We'd help you if we could.
But you're helping us already.
Forgive him, my lord. He did not mean to offend.
Quiet, you!
No sign of Hugo.
I'll wager he thinks as highly of his minions' traps as we do.
Then this should be easy.
Don't hurt us. I beg of you.
Quiet means quiet, branded scum.
It's going to be all right.
You might want to cover your eyes. That's bloodshed.
I'm here to even the odds. Any objections?
It's him, the outlaw. Sit here.
Go! Fucking go! Fuck wrong with y'all? This is how we find out how he uses his new power. That's
Summon the others! The bearers?
Safe.
Okay. I'm gonna say, you gotta show me the power of thunder. What we got? Bruh. Anybody watching? What? So, wisdom form?
Sid dies here!
What is this? Damn!
Outlaws in here! Bring me his head!
Oh, come on, please! Please.
How many are there?
Don't act like you're tired.
Titan sends his regards.
What? Do y'all really want this?
Let him play with the kitten!
The kitten?
They brought a pet.
You'll pay for what you've done, Sid.
Those things are fast.
We'll have to be faster.
Excuse the fuck out of me. Sid, I'm so sorry you had to go. But you definitely did level me the fuck up. RIP to a real one. It seems like Ramuh can never make it to the end of any game. And for the most part, Ramuh usually fuck with us. So I guess it's appropriate for him to be Sid.
They'll tell Hugo.
Let them. There's been more than enough bloodshed for one day.
I guess you could say Hugo's the boss. Having a good black mage would be real nice right about now, wouldn't it?
All
Oh
of
yeah.
our friends are dead because of you. Do you hear me? They used us as bait. Bait to lure you out of your stinking hole, all because you couldn't just let things be.
What are you even doing here? We never asked to be saved. Did you think we'd thank you? They'll never forgive us. We're all marked now.
For 5 years we fought to secure a better life for our kind. To see that we are treated as equals. Do you not want that?
What we want is to be left alone. Every time you show your faces, it is we who suffer.
It's all right. I'm sorry.
Just leave us be. This is our home, and this is where we'll stay.
Sid told us this wouldn't be easy. They'll come round.
If you say so.
We should go.
Damn, I wanted to see our mom. That's where we currently are. Just a hideaway. I guess we'll have to go to the hideaway. Simply because I can't save it though, so.
That night 5 years ago, we destroyed what for many was a symbol of hope. For a reason they'll never know. We cannot blame them for thinking us the cause of their misery. Though it's to give them a better tomorrow, they see only that we've made their lives harder today. Yet the boil must be lanced if it is to heal.
I can't help but wonder if we've made the right choice.
When Sid said that he wanted to create a world where we were free. Free to choose our own path. I honestly don't think it mattered to him if that choice was right or wrong. Only that it was our own.
I miss him.
A world where we can live and die as equals. That's what he wanted. What we want. And that's why I bear his name. It's why we've all chosen to bear his legacy. And I'm not going to let anything stand in our way.
Rides over, lovebirds. Home, sweet home.
the hell?
Otto was asking after you. Let's go and see him.
Never a dull moment.
Indeed.
Welcome back, Sid. Finish with that log, so
Look at this place. What is this place? This is like an old airship.
It's Sid.
Staying on this time.
Where's Gav?
Ah, there you are, Clive. Word of your adventures arrived this morning. Victor sent his thanks.
I doubt Kupka will miss the fools he sent to catch me. Not a single one of the bearers we saved showed any interest in coming with us. No one seems keen to join hands with an outlaw. Any news while we were away?
None worth mentioning. Gav's still off keeping an eye on the Republican army. Should be back any day now.
Understood. If anyone needs me, I'll be in the map room.
Still can't work that one out. There must be better places than the hull of a gutted airship to bury your nose in a book.
Yet this is where she's chosen to be. And I'm sure she has her reasons.
Wait. Kupo?
I trust I'm not intruding.
Back from your mission? I'm beginning to think your habit of surviving cannot be attributed to luck alone.
Oh, this must be
One
Sid's
might say
daughter.
the same of you, Vivian Ninetails.
I'll have you know that only 4 attempts have been made on my life, and none was especially memorable. So, to what do I owe the honor? Could it be that you've come for one of my lessons?
Is that so hard to believe?
Very well then. Shall we start with the state of the realm? To absolutely no one's surprise, she finds herself at the mercy of armies and outlaws. Well, mostly armies. Though that's not for want of trying, is it, Clive? But the real question is, how did we get here? Long though Sambrek's dominion over northeastern Storm has endured, recent days have seen the Blight wrest ever more land from her grasp. For which reason she has continued to wage war on her rival across the strait, hoping to claim less blackened pastures. But Odin would sooner pawn his sword than Waloed relinquish Ash. And the Empire pays dearly for every blade of grass bent beneath Sambrequois boots. Little wonder then that Sylvester set his sights on the crystalline dominion, an altogether easier target, possessed of no less ether. It was 5 years ago, while you were busying yourself with the destruction of Drake's head, that the Empire made its move, subjugating its theretofore neutral neighbor. A nation which could legitimately claim to be the center of the world. Certainly, there is no better place to stage an army. From there, the Holy Empire's reach spans the Twins. The non-aggression treaty was the only thing keeping them in check. But if they truly broke the pact without provocation, it is only a matter of time before others reply in kind. The Holy Empire, the Dhalmekian Republic, the Kingdom of Waloed, and of course, our friends in Yaran. Who will be left standing, I wonder, when the last drop of blood is spilled?
You were born in Twinside. Do you not fear for your home?
Oh, dark clouds are wont to gather over the Dominion. Yet in spite of it all, she has ever endured. And when the storm has passed, I am confident she will remain. Now, as to the matter of payment for today's lesson, complete a simple errand for me and we shall consider ourselves even.
Even? Right.
Return this volume to old tomes in the shelves. Tell him it was, adequate.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to visit our resident historian.
So this is how they get us to walk around and explore what's going on within the means. Fair enough. Fair enough. Damn, Titan really did do a number when I was fucking home. We had to move to the ocean where he can't come near us.
Lawsman Harpocrates.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. So long, in fact, I had half forgotten it was mine. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
Ready? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same, but alas, I no longer possess the necessary constitution for such indulgence, either in words or tarts. That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head, but without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret that I have been able to find little and less. I am sorry.
Please, don't apologize. I'll send word to our associates. See if they can't furnish you with more books.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones. Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
Not too tired to go filching Kupo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogles.
The twins seem well.
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them, however well they hide it. Titan took much from us that night, from some more than others, and the wounds that remain, they are not quick to heal.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate. Good day, Clive.
Good day.
All right.
Gav will be back soon. I should get some rest while I can.
It's a very interesting ship. So where's Myra?
Not back a blink and you're already off solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Otto stole us. All right, I'll have a look.
And then you get some rest.
Oh, I just realized, yeah.
What could Gav have thought worthy of a letter?
Huh. I had to pause for a second. I thought I heard something. And I was like, no, they didn't.
Have you been to the toll? I hear a new shipment's just...
What's this? Reports, letters, and other important missive addressed to Clive are delivered to the blank reading table in his chamber. Okay. Okay.
What does Gav have to say?
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kupka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance, the one we've been waiting for.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an Eikon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
This mission of ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear. The crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
So he does remember.
He did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima. If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does. To a world without mother crystals. To Sid.
Meanwhile, look at Joshua with the new fit.
And so the North is lost.
Oh no. He's looking more and more like Ryan Hart.
I knew that the Blight spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, are our efforts in vain?
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean to... intrude.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well. What would make Martha leave the rest?
Alright, so